Every lead followed perfectly, every planet ravaged. Our adversary is growing antsy, I can feel it. Expect news soon. Barris out.
My lord, I thought it prudent not to interrupt, Darth Barris.
Good plan. That was not a monologue you wanted to get in front of. Hell, if the ship was on fire, I would have kept my mouth shut.
We received a recorded transmission. It is cued when you are ready.
Sith, I'm Jaisa Wilson. My master, Noman Carr, has no idea I'm sending this message. Let's be real. We both know this isn't about us.
She may be young, but she gets it. We're the proxies in a personal feud. And I agree it's bad news if Barris is willing to kill as many Imperials as he had. Well, had me kill as many Imperials as I had, just to spite some Jedi. She wants to stop the dancing around and asks for a rendezvous to hash this out in person. A decent chance for a trap, but if there's a chance that I can end this without further bloodshed, I'm going to have to take it. Although if Noman Carr is pulling the strings like last time, then I'm not going to be merciful. I'm reformed, but I'm not Mr. Rogers. So, on to the rendezvous.
Well, we're going to have to thank Noman Carr after all. The Sith showed.
Leave it to the Jedi to destroy my faith in people.
Stand down, Sith. The Padawan you seek is not here. Master Carr discovered her plan and talked her out of it.
It's not your day. You were expecting one lowly little Padawan to crush. And instead, you get us.
You're right, it's not my day. That is not the tone of a man who came for reasoned discourse. That's the tone of a man who is not leaving this room unless he's used his lightsaber.
True Jedi don't attack to kill. The light side demands temperance.
Who are you to lecture about the light side? The Sith force us to take measures like this.
That's not very convincing. If you have to violate the principles that your order is based upon in order to protect your order, then maybe those principles aren't worth defending in the first place.
You, Sith, pose an exception. Your vile attempts to hurt Noman Carr and Jaisa Wilson are provocation enough.
You sound desperate to justify yourself.
That's enough out of you! Alden, it's time to end this!
No. Xylix, I'm unsure. Master Carr claims this Sith means Jaisa harm, but we have no proof.
Yeah, there's a word for the targeted killing of someone without evidence or trial. Assassination. Is that what the Jedi have become? Assassins? Deciding that the best defense is a good offense, and that the word of someone in authority without evidence is reason enough to take a life? Is that really what the Jedi are? Well, apparently so.
I yield to you! Damn Alden for leaving me to face you alone.
Yeah, what a dick he is for not joining in your unprovoked attack, huh?
Denounce the Jedi. The darkness is your only path to inner peace.
I'll consider what I've seen here. You leave me with much to ponder.
Yeah, well, what can I say? I'm just fucking sophisticated. Well, with Noman Carr's plan a failure, it's clear we're in the endgame now.
I'm pleased to report that your exploits have been successful. I have received a transmission from Noman Carr, calling me out, if you will, challenging me to face him to the death. Our enemy has become desperate.
He must have lost his mind.
Your efforts to disrupt his precious Padawan have unnerved him. He seeks to turn the tides. Carr fails to understand I have outgrown our personal dispute.
I know, these days your only nemesis is a flight of stairs. So Barris wants me to go and confront this guy personally.
Defeat him, but do not kill him. His torment will reach out to his Padawan. He will be the bait that brings her to you.
Sounds good to me. Let's wrap this entire enterprise up so I don't have to go around slaughtering our own forces and killing innocent people. So, we head to Hutta for the confrontation, which is appropriate because this situation is one big stinking pile of crap. And as expected, he's waiting inside. Waiting, that is, to act all superior and stuff.
Your presence tells me that my fellows Alden and Xylix must have failed. Pity. Should have known Barris couldn't be trusted.
Says the guy who keeps lying, laying traps for me, and clearly is spying on his own Padawan. I mean, yeah, it's entirely possible he got a bug on my ship and just picked up my side of Jace's conversation, but what's easier, to plant a bug on my ship or to plant a bug on hers? Well, yeah, Noman Carr is another great example of why I'm not on the Jedi team. Because he's convinced his shit don't stink. The difference between someone like me and someone like him is that when I do bad things, I know I've done a bad thing. I feel bad about doing a bad thing. I make a list of my bad things to remind myself of the bad things so that I can try not to do them again. It's insufferable dicks like him who are convinced I'm good, therefore anything I do is good, even if I would condemn it in my enemies. Fuck him. Yeah, and that was just a headbutt. Now stay down.
Never! This is not right! Fall! You must fall to me!
Like all those other poor saps, I don't work for you. That's why I'm still alive.
My wound is mortal, Sith. At least I die knowing you'll never find Jaisa.
Despite what you think, I'm not trying to kill your Padawan.
Lies. Tricks.
Hoaxes, deceptions, plots. Someone grab Jedi Master Grammar and make sure he's kept alive. So after those Imperials stabilize him, he rants and rants about how revealing who Barriss really was and his network of spies was his destiny, which tells me one thing: he really needed a dictionary instead of a thesaurus. Well, guess who finally arrives?
Sith, I have come. It seems I was expected. Your men outside let me pass. Release Master Carr. Your efforts to draw me out have been a success.
Stupid child! For all your power, you have understood nothing.
What have you done to him, Sith? Has this been inside him all along? No. It can't be. No one can hide such darkness. Somehow you've turned him mad!
Well, close. I didn't turn him mad. I made him mad. I'm kind of good at that, actually. It's kind of like my superpower. Well, one thing about Jaisa, she has the ability to see inside of you, so hey, look away.
I sense pride and envy and hate and vengeance? No! What Sith trick is this? I would have known if such darkness resided within him.
Well, if it's a trick, then you should be able to discover that. Go right ahead and turn that third eye on me. I mean, the mystic one, not... I'm not anti-Gran. I don't care what that protester said.
I see mercy and fairness and even, perhaps, compassion. You have walked the light path. Sparing Master Yonlock and my parents are true reflections of you. But it is said that Sith embody darkness. How is this possible?
Well, it's pretty easy. Among the Sith, if you kick a lot of ass, people don't ask a whole lot of questions.
Don't listen, Jaisa. It's all a trick. The Sith has disguised himself and me to cause you to doubt your power.
Himself? What is that part of the deception? It wasn't enough to pretend I'm light side. I made myself look like a woman, too? Man, I'm a real shapeshifter.
The truth is plainly before you. I walk in the light.
Shut up! I can't trust you! I can't trust anything! Defend yourself, Sith!
Oh, is this guy really worth dying for, Jaisa? I mean, just look at him. His morals are more corrupted than a hard drive searching for wares and free movie downloads, and he looks like a corned beef sandwich dropped on Tatooine for a week.
I am no match. You had the opening you needed to kill me, and yet you held back. You appear to be an agent of the dark side, but it's a mask. But Master Carr also wears a mask, and his deception is a much uglier one.
Yeah, I know. At least Barriss keeps a mask on at all times. We don't have to look at his ugly mug. Well, Jaisa is so impressed with me, not just my fighting ability, but the fact that I can walk this path, that she wants to join me. Cool.
Imagine having someone who can see through the deceptions of your rivals and enemies.
Works for me. Now it's just a matter of dealing with Noman Carr.
Carr will be delivered to Drummond Cass, and my master will determine his fate.
Isn't that a death sentence?
Yes. Oh shit, I meant... Well, yes, actually.
To maintain our image among the Sith, we must sometimes make difficult sacrifices.
And having to deliver him to Darth Barris, oh, I can't tell you how much that's eating me up inside. I'm just... excuse me, I think I'm going to start crying the more I think about it. Oh, tragic.
Who are you to preside over me? You are nothing. I am Noman Carr.
Oh, heavy is the burden that is mine.
So, my lord, now you have the girl. A victory, I dare say, even Barris failed to anticipate.
What can I say? I was skeptical at first, too. I mean, I don't think I actually believe in karma or anything, but I think that maybe just the whole approach is just what it takes.
We will be the catalyst that ushers in a new paradigm for the galaxy.
I am open-minded and ready for the evolution, my lord.
Well, that's good, because frankly, you do not look it. I mean, you look very old-fashioned, like you still believe in butlers kind of thing. Anyway, we should tell Barris the good news.
I've been informed that my soldiers are bringing Noman Carr to me. A pleasant surprise. I'll have the final word in my war with that Jedi. He will die 1,000 deaths.
Yeah, I can definitely see you've moved beyond your conflict with him.
There's no denying you are a master of the dark arts now. Only the most accomplished among us are named as lords among Sith. You have more than earned the distinction. I hereby confer the title of Sith Lord upon you.
Hell yeah, I have earned this. And hey, I appreciate the fact that the Sith don't go distinguishing that by gender and call me Sith Lady or something like that. Wait, he's not like Carr and thinks that I'm a man, does he? No, he's got to know. Barris is also tremendously impressed that I brought Jace over to my side. And speaking of which, we got to get things ready for her.
Come on, Jace, let's get you set up.
Whenever you need me, my lord, whatever your order, I'll be ready. Master, I feel compelled to tell you, I am uneasy fighting alongside die-hard Imperials. It seems like a foolish risk. We are always surrounded by the enemy.
With the Sith Inquisitor, I discussed the uniqueness of Kem Val. I won't give spoilers here in case you haven't watched that video yet, but I like the way that he is unique in what the game lets you do with him. Jace is likewise a unique character, because she is shaped by what you are. You saw her reaction to Ripley, who is basically trying to do light side things. If she sometimes screws up, well, that's just part of the game. But this so inspires Jace as a beacon amidst the darkness, that she's willing to switch sides. But what if you were a more typical Sith, using anger and passion and reveling in your power and destruction? In that case, Jace has a very different reaction. She sees the dark side in a different light, no pun intended, thanks to you, and embraces that fact. In fact, she quickly goes all in on this, becoming a Knight Templar in the dark side cause, if you will. Dark Jace is hardcore. But since that's not what happened here, I'm going to be focusing mostly on light side Jace. Jace's path has, in fact, mirrored my own. She has drawn the attention of a powerful master, one who sings her praises, and yet ultimately sees her as nothing but a tool to further his own ends. It is clear to see Barris for what he is, but while Jace has the ability to see past the surface, her trusted naivete prevent her from doing the same with her own master. This is a significant reason for her decision to join me. She despises people who hide behind masks. It was the way of things on Alderaan, and she thought the Jedi would be better than that. So Noman Carr's betrayal hit all the harder for that. It also puts her in a bit of a bind, since we are doing something similar as well, trying to change the Empire from within, which necessitates pretenses at times so that we are not targeted. The appearance of weakness is all that is needed to be attacked amongst Sith. The fact that Jace can go both light and dark provides the opportunity for additional insight into her character. It shows, most importantly, that she has always teetered on the brink, so disillusioned with the established power structures that are built on lies that she, on the one hand, might be open to changing them for the better, or on the other hand, tempted by the liberating idea of rejecting them all and just following her own path, to stop being used by others and instead aspire to use others. But in either case, Jaisa wants to use the power at her disposal to change the Empire to better reflect her. It's just a matter of direction. She grew up surrounded by those who wielded power towards their own ends, so this is hardly a surprise. My Jaisa is thus fixated upon finding and fostering Sith who adhere to the light, although she nearly gives herself away in front of one of my other companions who isn't of the same mindset. She tries using her abilities to seek out other Sith who follow the light, but frequently she's met with suspicion, if not outright attacked. Eventually, she makes progress in tracking down a Sith master operating in secret to try to raise up light-side Sith amongst the Empire. But there is another Sith seeking to purge those who lack purity. For most Sith, it would only be, as I said, an invitation to attack someone seen as being weak, but this guy is doing it because he has a hard-on for the dark side and will not truck with the light side at all. This Darth Sendens is thus the greatest threat to what Jaisa wants to accomplish. So in the end, she hunts him down and confronts him, faces him in combat, and kills him. A fitting end for her quest, considering how discovering this threat within the shadows and confronting it is what my entire mission was in finding her. But for Jaisa, it is a proper realization of what she hoped to do from the beginning with Nomen Karr, to remove the darkness. She may have once been incapable of finding it within him, and yet now she has reached the point where she can discover a darkness that is hiding amidst darkness. And that is clearly a tough challenge to overcome.
I feel neither pride nor thankfulness nor relief. It simply is what it is.
Ah, the latest lord in the Emperor's arsenal returns. You're just in time. I have need of you.
Not surprised. Would you lose the remote control and the couch cushions and need me to go get it? How many Imperials will I have to kill in order to find it?
My master on the Dark Council, Darth Vengeance, wants war. Not petty skirmishes that tiptoe around the Treaty of Coruscant, but open warfare.
With a name like Vengeance? Oh, color me surprised. Rivley asked the obvious question, since when do Sith need an excuse to do, well, anything, really? But the reason why Vengeance has put Darth Barris in charge of finding a way to start a war is because that the Emperor himself insisted upon the Treaty of Coruscant, and until he says otherwise, they can't start a war. What they need to do is find a way to basically convince everybody, no, this peace was all well and good, but it's time to give war a chance.
But I may have found an opportunity that will have the Council and the Emperor ready to act. Most think that our inability to find and defeat one man, General Karras's Gone, kept us from outright victory and forced the negotiated peace.
So I take it you want me to go find him and kick his ass for you.
General Gone operates from the shadows, a phantom single-handedly preventing the fringe systems from falling to us. After years without a hint of his whereabouts, I've learned that he's meeting on Nar Shaddaa with traitorous Imperial agents. You will go there, and you will kill him.
Yep, number 3. Kill one of the enemy and kill about 1 billion of our own people. Still, at least in this case, Barris says that these people are providing information to the enemy.
Anyone meeting with General Gone is guilty of treason and must be eradicated. We will not appear weak on this.
Don't worry, I'll wear my brass knuckles. So it's off to Nar Shaddaa. I've mentioned in the past about my complaints about the time sinks that still exist inside the game, and this is a good example of that. It takes me close to 6 minutes in order to get from where I am now to where the action starts to happen. Once I get there, the action, including fighting my way through the bad guys and the cutscenes, takes about 3 minutes. So it's twice as long to get to where the fun actually starts and then finishes.
There is no point. This is a pointless exercise. We are whiling away our finite time before the grave.
So Jaisa and I fight our way through. I decided to bring Jaisa along because there might be a need for her scanning abilities. What with the complexities of traders in here, we could wind up with like a double, triple, quadruple agent or something, and I'd like to be able to see right through everything to the core of that.
Someday the rest of the Chiss will follow your lead.
Wait for it, wait for it. The key to this kind of thing is timing.
The rabbit comes out of his hole. Nice to see my information was correct.
It's all about making an entrance.
Cease your operations, and I'll see to it you live.
Keeping the fringe systems free of the Empire is more important than my life.
I hear you, it's just you won't be able to do that after I kill you, will you?
Sith, you are Darth Barris's apprentice? We know of you. This isn't what it seems.
How can you be a spy if you lie so badly? Well, the general isn't willing to surrender, so I have to kill him and a whole bunch of his people, too. But, yeah, I kind of figured that that's the way this was going to end.
Kill them all. Please, mercy. We will rededicate ourselves to the Empire.
How about we start with what you know, and we'll see if there's any long-term solutions in place for you. He has some info about a Jedi that he smuggled on Hoth to go look for something. Darth Barris might want to know something about this.
Tell my master everything. He will have interest in this.
Right away, my lord. Thank you for your mercy.
Well, time will tell. I'm the good cop. You're about to meet the bad cop.
Barris, are you responsible? Was it you who took out General Gon?
It was, Lord Vengeance.
Yeah, that's the way middle management work. They tell you to do something impossible, you do it, and then they take the credit.
You have delivered to me what I most crave.
Pardon the interruption, my lords.
Who is this Barris?
My mightiest apprentice, my lord, and the killer of General Gon.
Good, I was hoping that if I played it respectful and all that, Barris would openly admit my role in all of this. Whereas if I come in there all braggadocio and stuff, Barris would feel upstaged, and that's one more problem I've got to deal with. He does not have a good rein on his temper.
And clearly a dutiful minion who knows the meaning of respect.
Damn right I'm respectful. Oh, by the way, Darth Butterball, I took care of your nemesis. That treadmill won't bother you again.
It is time. I will send my destroyer to the fringe systems, and they will be mine before anyone is the wiser. The order is given, Barris. Enact Plan Zero.
Oh, that's awful. What were your alternative names, huh? Operation Nothing? Project Nil? Oh, I know what you should have called it. The Goose Egg Stratagem, yeah. So, what are we signed up for?
Apprentice Plan Zero is the systematic elimination of the Republic's top military leaders. A preemptive strike that will leave the enemy headless. I have been tracking of the targets for years in anticipation of Plan Zero. There's no time to waste. Make ready your ship. I will contact you there.
That sounds good. And I'm glad to see that those guys that I sent over here aren't lying dead somewhere in the room. I had a feeling I might have been sending them to their deaths, but they did bring it upon themselves. I gave them as much of a chance as I could. And really, they knew the stakes after all. I mean, I think even in the Republic, being a traitor is a death sentence if you're caught. So, you know, if he did kill them, they did bring it upon themselves. Anyway, we head to the ship where he says that 4 of the 6 generals that I need to kill are on the planet Terrace. Which is good, because I like to keep them all in one place if possible. Hopefully they are nearby, though. I mean, a planet is a big place. I mean, one could be on one continent and one on another continent. I could be flying all over the place.
I will give you the particulars of your mission when you arrive. Barris out.
Yeah, good. Track them down. The last thing I want this to turn into is 4 rounds of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego.
The War Trust. The 4 generals who implement the bulk of the Republic military forces' strategic planning are all on Terrace as we speak. Normally, they're never together in one place. This is an incredible opportunity.
It must be something very important for them to expose themselves like this.
Truthfully, I don't care about their agenda. The War Trust generals themselves are the true threat.
All right. I just was looking at the big picture like you've been training me to do. I never know what to make you happy sometimes. So, is there any help that we can expect down there?
Moff Herden leads the Imperial forces on the planet. He will provide whatever resources he can.
Oh, I bet he will. Terrace is the planet that Darth Malak bombarded back in Knights of the Old Republic, and it has not recovered. The Republic's been trying to build a little settlement on there, and the Imperials have been working on screwing that up. But it is not a nice posting. This Moff is going to want to get off this planet as soon as possible and get to some place that, forget civilized, is just not a hellhole to step into the moment you go outside.
I have never had cause to assist Darth Vader before, but I have long been an admirer of his work. And yours, of course.
Yup, he knows that the Sith are his ticket off of this planet. He is going to kiss my ass like it's a baby and he's running for governor.
I doubt she came all this way to be fawned on.
Of course. May I introduce Lieutenant Pierce, on loan from one of our notorious Black Ops divisions.
Now Pierce, on the other hand, he wants to get off Terrace too, but not by kissing ass, by kicking it. That doesn't mean he's a big stupid thug, though. You don't have that kind of thing in Black Ops. You have people who are trained to look at the situation and go in there thoroughly prepared for it.
All four of the War Trust generals are here on Taris, which means something big. But they never show their faces. Got my hands on a Republic scout, leaned on him, hard. He was setting up supply routes for General Frelka, the War Trust junior member.
Good, you can be bad cop, I'll be good cop. Where is this guy?
He's dead. Sorry.
People don't just die from exhaustion.
I overestimated his stamina. Said I was sorry.
Your repeated remarks of my bad tell me you don't get the reason why I'm unhappy here. Anyway, he does make up for this by being very competent. The way to find out where this person is to attack a Republic convoy, grab the transporters off enough vehicles, and we can then triangulate where they were going to go in order to locate this general. And this time I'll say I'm sorry before I kill him, because I'm not a savage. After tearing through a few patrols, we get enough transponders so that Pierce can locate where General Frelka is likely at, a nearby mine. So we fight our way through the facility. Obviously the guy we're looking for is going to be deep, deep, deep inside. If I was this general, I wouldn't go all the way into the mine. I wouldn't go in the mine at all. That's what underlings are for. I'm only going in now because my underlings consist of 3 people. If I was a general, I'd have whole squads of mine-invading specialists on hand. Okay, well, maybe not mine specialists, but you get the point there. Wait a second. I should just make a list of all the places I want to go, like, mines as an example. Just list them all out and just have a specialist set up so that they could go into all the places that I don't have to go. Once I get all those underlings that a Sith Lord like me should have, I could then put together these, crappy place squad or something. I need a better name than that. It's got to be something that makes them sound, elite, so that everybody's going to want to join this collection of people going into the maw of hell, like Ripley's Immortals, or something like that. Say that it's because it would kill a lesser man if they went in there. That's why these experts are being sent in there. Yeah, they'll want to do that, and all they'll really be doing is heading to a sewer where they have to go kill some Imperial enemy. That way I don't have to go and burn my clothes after doing the job myself.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You got all the soldiers. We ain't fighters, just miners.
Good, I was kind of hoping that this wasn't soldiers all the way down. Are you mining for soldiers? It wouldn't surprise me after all the people I had to kill to get here. I say the only person I'm interested in is the general, and he says he can hit the silent alarm that will draw the general and his entourage in, and he would like to know if maybe if he does that, I'd let him live. I let him know that it's all good.
Enemy sighted. Captain, attack pattern 077.
Men, fan out! 077! Be ready to engage! Wait for the general's order!
I'm not sure which is funnier, your ridiculous voice, or the fact you're calling out moves like a basketball coach. Watch out, Jaisa. I think they're going to try the man-on-man defense on us.
If I had a sense of humor, I'd find you amusing.
We have prisons that can stand up to Sith. Perhaps you'll find them funny.
Yeah, and I've got a dragon that can poop cinnamon buns, so long as we're living in a fantasy world here.
Our new technology will deliver armed superiority to the Republic, and I'm ready to give my life to defend this installation.
Your terms are acceptable. Okay, do you want to confer with your assistant, Coach, or should we just go straight to the fighting? So, after taking care of all of them, we hack the mine's computer, because of course a mine would have a computer, don't be an idiot. We find out about Project Scientide, which is the basis of their work here. Seems that when Malik destroyed Terrace, all the incinerated bodies produced this kind of residue, and the Republic has been gathering it up and using it now for this new experimental weapons program. This proves two things. First, the Republic is gearing up for the possibility of war, and two, they're willing to power their new army with dead people. Ugh. So, we blow the place up.
The facility will self-destruct in 60 seconds.
Oh man, I love self-destructs. They just make my job so much easier. Normally I have to run around and smash and break and blow things up myself. But here, nah, it's just hit a button. It's great. It's like having an app whose sole job is to streamline my reign of terror. I gotta hand it to the Republic. We may not see eye to eye here, but it's like they have so much respect for my time they've created a life hack to make things easy for me. So we fill Pierce in and let him know what we discovered about the next general, Minced. We know where he is. It was in the computer. Another great reason for hacking it. Pierce also has news about the next member of the War Trust that we'll need to get to, but unfortunately the Moth got in the way. Pierce is going to take a few of his Black Ops guys and follow the men who work directly for that general back to their lair. Well, the Moth had a different idea. Wouldn't it be better if we could kill them before they got there so that they can't reinforce the position? Not a bad idea if we knew where the hell they were going, which we don't.
Ah, there you are. I see Lieutenant Pierce has already hailed you. I was hoping to do it myself. Can I assume the Lieutenant has updated you? Thanks to me, General Durant's personal battalion will not be joining him, wherever he is.
Yeah, wherever he is. Look, if I have to kill Batman, you killing Robin before I can track him back to the Batcave doesn't do me a lot of good, does it?
We'll get something on Durant. I swear it. Good luck with General Minced.
Thank you. And you know, if you survive this, I've got an opening. It's called Ripley's Immortals. I think you'd be well suited for it. So, after finally having a chance to leave behind the mine, we head into this tunnel, and then down a long shaft under the ground. Sure, I'm glad it's not a mine. Once down there, we battle through his forces and then take down his defenses and finally find the general himself. Wait a second, something stinks here, and I don't just mean the guy who looks like he's part frog. I'm here to eliminate the 6 most important generals the Republic has so we can effectively wage war against them. This guy does not fit that description. This guy would struggle to be an assistant manager at a fast food restaurant. I'm betting this guy didn't volunteer for a suicide mission either. He was assigned it. He wouldn't be so quick to give up otherwise. He tells me the real general is actually in a bunker nearby, where he'll be protected from the explosion of the self-destruct. Oh, how quickly my good friend the self-destruct is turned on me. Still, this guy has got the sequence that I need in order to override the door and get inside myself, so it should all work out in the end.
Vault code sequence arming.
The reactor core will self-destruct in 60 seconds.
Vault code sequence initiated.
If the imposter was wrong about the time, we're in trouble.
Huh? Oh, that's right, you're new. Sorry, Jaisa. We're always in trouble. Still, I do manage to get the lock open in time.
The enemy is accessing the Fallout Vault. Defeat the Sith and we can weather the explosion inside the vault.
Wow, General Minced is a real hero, huh? He left like all of his men out here to die. Sad thing is, if they hadn't attacked me, I'd have let them in there. I've got no quarrel with these guys. It's just Minced that I've got to deal with. But of course they don't, so I have to kill them. Then I can go take care of the general. One thing's for sure, I can count on him not having very many bodyguards.
Kaptulia Dapota 21 Kisli Mopayug Tachanga.
You must be a joy to work for.
Piskaku. Palia Pitiye. Potenia go.
No, I think that true leaders would inspire his forces to want to do it. But then again, I think I've seen what kind of leader you are. After some gloating on his part, I knock him out and have him brought back for questioning later on. So then, that's 2 down, 2 to go. Wonder how Pierce is doing.
Pierce here. Tracked General Durant's battalion. Led my Black Op troopers on a recon run. Found Durant's hideout. He's got a full battalion guarding the compound. They're establishing a perimeter of electronic defenses around the general.
Okay, that's the bad news. The worst news is that Pierce and his forces were discovered and they're stuck on the inside of the perimeter, being slowly gunned down. So I'm going to have to haul ass there if I want any members of the competent people on this planet to survive. So now it's just a matter of getting past a battalion of Republic forces who are entrenched in their underground bunker. Everything is underground with these people here. Why is that? What is so great about Terrace that they want to hold on to it? Yet everyone I've met lives underground if given the option. It's like, you could live on an asteroid and basically have the same experience as living on Terrace, buddy. Plus, there are no swamp monsters that can infect you with a disease that will turn you into a swamp monster yourself. I'm sure that's why they stay underground, but that just speaks about how inhospitable this stupid planet is. We'll reclaim Terrace by putting up one settlement and then dropping all of the rest of our troops down a hole so they don't wind up turning into zombie vampire things. I mean, yeah, there's the stuff to be collected for the secret project, but that's a whole different moral quandary. How exactly do you sell the Republic that you're the good guys when your secret weapon is dead people? Either this whole settlement thing is a smokescreen so they can scrape up dead people and put the remains into their guns and droids, or they're following up this attempt to restore this symbol of new life on Terrace by secretly desecrating the remains of the people killed in the tragedy that they're bemoaning. I'm not saying to make some hypocrites or anything, I just mean that from a pure PR standpoint, this seems like a move that's going to blow up in their faces, especially when there's not technically a war going on right now. Because make no mistake, I'm sure there are some senators on the Empire's payroll, or that we've got some dirt on, who are going to be happy to make this public and undermine confidence in any war effort. I get the sense that the War Trust is so fixated on the war part of their name that they forget about this democracy thing that is going on here. It could bite you in the ass if you're not careful. But don't get me wrong, the Empire's not so great either. I've been forced to kill enough of our own soldiers to know that well enough. But between this choice and one of their top generals having the same approach, basically, that getting his men killed on purpose is a good strategy if it advances his goal in the process, well, I'm not really regretting my decision to take this job. Even Pierce's occasional messages that his elite men are being gradually taken out doesn't really bother me. I mean, I'm not indifferent to their deaths or anything. I just mean that, well, there were 2 sides, and the Empire has a situation where I can better use my talents. So telling me to sit in a corner and think deep thoughts is not happening. That's basically my idea of hell. Now, who am I kidding? I'm just trying to distract myself from the fact that I've had to kill a lot. I mean a lot of people on this planet. And from the sound of things, that's the way that it's going to go from now on. I guess I just want to feel better about having thrown in with this side that I have. Because let's face it, even if I have a crisis of conscience, switching to the Republic isn't going to do me any favors. I mean, at best, I'm going to wind up killing a whole lot of people for the Republic side instead. And at worst, they won't accept it and toss me in a cell. So, either way, I don't see any other way except forward, through a mass of bodies. And hey, one good thing about this job is I do have a lot of people kissing my ass, so, that's something. If I have to do terrible things, it's nice that people appreciate it. Alright. Oh, hey, look. Found Pierce. How's it going, big guy?
My lord, I spent all my ammunition and I'm down to my last med pack. But Durant's battalion is down. So is the rest of my unit. Never seen men stare death in the face and fight more bravely.
I understand. I will ensure that their names are remembered. 200 years from now, when the official records are unsealed, of course. Well, thanks to Pierce and his group, the way is clear for me to confront General Durant himself. He's fine with this, though, because he's delayed long enough so that the project details won't fall into my hands. Isn't he going to be in for a surprise?
General Mintz told me everything when I captured him.
Mintz and I have served the Republic together most of our lives. He deserves better.
No, he doesn't. He couldn't be any more of a tool unless he had DeWalt stamped on his back. He attacks me, boasting about his new gun that's so powerful it's going to kick my ass. You know, like that's going to make a difference. My outfit does not scream, I have a lot of armor on. My outfit says, this person wants as little weight on them as possible so they can leap around and avoid being shot. The cape is just a style thing.
You will not defeat General Ferrer.
Oh yeah, because you've been such a great judge so far. Oh, that Mintz is such a great guy. Oh, I'm so totally going to kick your ass. Oh, our other general is going to be unbeatable. Generally speaking, people don't point to someone on their knees dying and say, you know what? That guy knows where it's at. I hope he shares some wisdom because he's made some great choices in his life. Pierce patches through a message from Barris. He says that according to intelligence, the last general has pulled back all their defenses to protect the settlement where he's at and all of this research for their Project Dead People thing.
This assault will take all our firepower. I've summoned your crew to the base. They will all be utilized. And I've informed Moff Herden that you are commandeering the entirety of his forces.
Yes, right. They are yours to command, my lord.
Nice to see you know your place, Imperial.
Yeah, I'm still a little cheesed off over what he did before. I think there's a good chance that if he hadn't intervened like that, Pierce's Black Ops forces might have survived.
I'm here. Let the war begin.
Damn, I was really hoping that someone was going to throw a guitar riff in there, you know. Alright, so what's the strategy here? I mean, I know it'll involve me kicking some ass, but whose ass specifically will I be kicking?
Now, to maximize our chances, we must coordinate 3 simultaneous strikes. One will destroy the base's power station. Another will sabotage its spaceport force field to thwart any reinforcements. And the last will force the conscripted regiments of Ferrer's army to flee.
Seems straightforward enough. I'll handle the scaring people part. There's a reason I wear this skull belt buckle. Quinn's going to hang back here and coordinate the whole thing. Pierce is going to join me in the assault on the front lines. Vet is going to handle the turrets and any other things that might ruin my day. And Jaisa is going to be in charge of raising the Republic's shields so that they can't have any reinforcements land. Seems like a good plan.
Today we fight as one. I believe in every one of you. Join me in victory.
If that doesn't inspire, nothing will.
So with our forces properly motivated, we storm the Republic settlement so that we can finally find this guy and put an end to this war trust.
All alert. The enemy is sighted.
You're adorable.
Flee now or prepare for the end, worms. You will know no mercy in battle.
No one moves. Maintain your ranks or suffer a court-martial.
If your commander is dead, who will court-martial you?
We far outnumber the Sith's forces. We will win this day, and all cowards will be punished.
Well, I tried. Poor bastards. Breaking character a moment. Nobel laureate Milton Friedman was one of the first champions for eliminating conscription in favor of a voluntary army in the United States, pointing out that it was not only disruptive, antithetical to the very freedom America was supposed to champion, and disproportionately targeted lower classes, but that it was less economical to constantly train new recruits because the old fled at the first opportunity, rather than being able to train volunteers who would remain on longer and consequently allowed more and more advanced technology to be put into their hands. As he said in response to a general grumbling about commanding an army of mercenaries, would you rather command an army of slaves? Well, these particular slaves have been thrust onto the end of my lightsaber. Guess the Republic needs its own Gates Commission.
My lord, I have updates from the other fronts. I'm pleased to report that the Republic power station has been destroyed. Vet went through their traps like they were infant toys. From her report, I doubt anyone else could have achieved it.
Yep, if there's one thing I know after having to buy 12 coffee makers, Vet knows how to break things.
Unfortunately, the news from the Republic spaceport is not as favorable. Jacer was unfamiliar with the Republic systems and couldn't sabotage the force field controls. We should have realized that Pierce's familiarity with Republic systems here on Taris made him the logical choice.
Oh, really? Because I thought it was logical that someone who was working for the Republic as recently as earlier this week might actually know how Republic systems work. Yeah, don't I feel like a dumbass?
There's no time to lose, my lord. Ferez Command Center awaits.
Yeah, now that you've got all of your I told you so's out of your system, I can go in there, kill the general, and get off this swamp nightmare. This is a new one. Never needed an icebreaker for one of these situations before.
The future is upon us, Sith, and you have the privilege of bearing witness.
I don't understand. Is it behind this pile of junk? Oh, is that what you're talking about? Because that looks like a piece of shit.
Droids, full assault!
Engaging all weapons.
Oh, please, tell me you have the original packaging so that when we're done with this, you can send it back to the manufacturer for a refund.
You are beaten, General.
I can't believe it. All this work, all this death, for naught.
Oh, that's something I've heard so many times. Why don't I give you this card here? It's the contact information for our therapist, Dr. Blargstein. He's really good.
I wish I could sit around and discuss where I went wrong, but a good leader always has an exit strategy.
Oh, yeah, the door. I didn't think you'd use that. You're frickin' Houdini, aren't you? Jackass.
I surrender. I expect to be afforded the treatment promised to prisoners in the Treaty of Coruscant.
Yeah, right. Bring the descrotomizer for me. I'm just fucking with you, General. You'll be fine.
Congratulations on the success of your mission. Taking down the War Trust is an incredible victory. It is clear you are the future of the Empire, and I hope you will count me among your closest allies.
Boy, I hope I don't slip with all the licking you've done of my boots. Still, he does at least reassign Pierce to me after we leave, so that's good. He's very useful. He could probably be a good team leader for Ripley's Immortals.
Lieutenant Fallin, I will brief you on how things work here when we are back on the ship.
Oh, I should have realized this is Christmas for Quinn. Someone on the ship finally asked to listen to him besides the droid. I'm a little worried, though. Pierce doesn't look like a guy who's going to put up with this. I give it a month. Then he's just going to flat out eat Quinn.
Good luck, my lord. I'll be coordinating the attacks via Hollow.
Don't worry, Captain. The real soldiers have got this one.